How are you consuming all that pain?
Now, this one, remember, it was unexpected. There's no time for paralyzing you or what. You have to feed it. Otherwise, it was going to cause more damage. So this lady's like, you know what? Get me a pair of scissors. I'm like, oh. So she starts plucking, putting in the dustbin.
As you're looking?
As I'm looking. Because she had to be sure that anything that was left was...
Charity, what was running in your mind?
I'm telling you, I cried. I cried because I kept on imagining, really? Now my arm is going to be like 3/4? Because a quarter was going in the dustbin when I'm sick.
Oh my God.
So she keeps plucking, putting in the what? In the dustbin.
Live with Simon Chris Makanga. You know, today's episode is going to be quite amazing, but if it's your very first time here, go ahead and subscribe. And for those of you that have always been here, thank you so much for the words of encouragement, the subscription, and all the likes. And today's episode is really going to be amazing, like I said, and a little bit touching. You know, it's quite so strange and hard to believe that you wake up every single day, brush your teeth, leave your home, go do your daily hustles, not knowing what is going to happen to you. And that is a secret that God kept away from us. We believe that tomorrow is going to be a good day. Even next month is going to be a good month. And next year is going to be a good year. But then you wake up and you're involved in a motor accident, leaving you with severe wounds and then some permanent damages. Our special guest tonight is an accident survivor. 12 years ago, she was involved in a motor accident that left her with permanent wounds and permanent deafness. Charity Aniembabazi.
Yes, please.
It's a big pleasure to have you on this conversation.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to the excitement because amidst you carrying a wound on your hand, you're able to carry a smile. Sorry about the accident.
It's all right.
What happened?
Well, Aniembabazi Charity is my name. I hail from Kabale district. I'm a Mchiga by tribe. Age 25. A proud one. Yes, a proud
You're
one.
You're one of the people here. I am a proud Muchiga.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah. Sorry to say that people, but I've heard about these sayings that I am a proud Muchiga.
100%.
And they don't mess up with you.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Yes. And what happened was on a normal day back then in 2012. On the 22nd of January, we had gone for school studies, but they weren't allowed at the time. So the school authority thought it wise, since our parents had paid the school fees, they thought it wise to shift us and take us to another place and have our holiday studies without any interruptions from maybe the police or the education authorities. We went, had our holiday study, which came to an end on the 22nd of January. That day, we cleaned up the place. I was so excited. I'd even called my mom and told her, you know what, I'm coming back to school. My bucket is missing. I need a bucket, and you carry for me some bread because the term was going to begin officially. She's like, oh, so you're coming back today? I was like, we're coming back today night, but you can visit tomorrow. She's like, it's okay. Little did I know that was going to be a night that was going to change my life.
Or end your life?
Of course, yeah. It wasn't a guarantee that I would survive. So we pack our things, and then a lorry is brought to take us back to school. So we're studying from Lake Bunyonyi and we were supposed to go back to Kabale in town. So this lorry was carrying our luggages, the buckets, the bags, the books. Yeah, so they packed us and I happened to squeeze myself in between. And then, we moved. So the road from, the journey from Lake Bunyonyi to town was okay. The accident just happened a few meters away from the school premises. there was a sharp corner, a hill, then a sharp corner. And I can say due to overloading, and it was in the night.
The truck was full.
The truck was full. It was in the night. And I think this driver didn't want to leave us there just like that.
Okay.
So for him, he thought he could maybe
You said you guys
take us up.
you're going back for holidays.
No, we're done with the holiday study. And now we're going to start the term officially. First term, primary 7. And you know that excitement of being a candidate. You want to have all the notes, grasp everything without being left behind. So he reaches the sharp corner and guess what? He cannot continue. Now, when it was...
What happened? The truck failed to brake?
Now, I don't know how I could put it. He climbed. Then, you know, that sharp corner and you failed to negotiate. I think the gears or something. And then he couldn't control it anymore. It had to just reverse on its own from a hill going backward. It was in the night and it rolled on my side because I remember I was standing on the left side of the truck.
And remember, Kabale Hills roads are like this.
Yeah, they are meandering. Thank you. Now that hill itself, it's not so huge, but it was something small, but with those corners. Yeah, so it couldn't negotiate the sharp corner up, and we had to go back down.
Charity, wait a minute. I've not been to Kabale, but I've seen the roads on television. So as you're climbing up like this, the truck fails to turn.
Yes.
And then it rolls in those rocks.
Fortunate enough, there was like a garden. That's where we fell.
You fell in the garden? We
fell in the garden, and I think it's by God's grace because later on during the day, there were like tree trunks, you know, but we didn't reach there. Then after the garden, there is like a river. How do I call it? A river, a stream, not a river, a stream. So God touched because the car, that truck would have rolled and gone in the river. So it rolled. I remember it overturned, and then it settled in the garden. One died on the spot, and then some of us then some survived, especially those who were behind. They were able to jump out when they realized that the car was failing to brake, so they jumped out. But for us who were in front, we didn't have a way. We just had to go with what was going at the time. I didn't faint. I didn't faint. I didn't black out. As a matter of fact, I vividly remember every moment of it. So we roll. Now, due to the fear, I get hold on this side of the lorry. Those, what are they called? Those metals. I get hold of it because I didn't want to fly out. And in the process of it overturning, because I had...
It rolled with your hand.
It rolled with my arm. Now, after a few minutes, I managed to get out of that mess, and I'm standing, and there is this whole thing that comes in your mind, like, oh God, is this happening, or this is a movie, or is this real? So I'm standing, and one arm is swinging by itself, like you can't control it, and you're like, okay. So I first touched using this one, and it was okay. Then I bring this other arm to touch
yourself.
So the hand was like working, but this part kept on shaking. I wondered. So at that time, I remembered what I used to watch on TV, like buses have got an accident. So I was like, oh my God. So you mean also me, I'm in an accident? Then I get out. My friends managed to carry me and put me by the roadside. At that time, parents had been notified. People were coming in to pick their children and to take some to the hospital, those who had serious injuries. So I found some on the roadside crying. There were those people. The accident wasn't that serious for serious external damages, but there people got wounded. So they first take us to the school premises because I told you it was just a few meters away. We reach, the police comes, And I remember sitting on a police van. I even told them, people, do not leave me behind. My arm is broken. And they're like, oh, we are going to leave you behind because we hadn't noticed. I'm like, my arm is broken. So they carry, that pain, because after a few seconds, you start feeling the pain. So they carry me onto the truck, and then they took us to Kabale Regional Referral Hospital. That's where we were hospitalized. Now, on going, there were those humps. Those humps to reduce speed and all that.
Yeah.
The moment they would bump into them, I think because the bones were broken. Completely. Not fractured or what, broken. For I think they were piercing whatever inside, because the pain was so much.
Sorry.
That time, a radio announcement was passed, and I think they gave out false information, and they said 10 children had died on the spot. But it was only 1, but 9 had fainted. I think they couldn't contain the pressure and all that. So parents were all scared. They were all up and down. It was a Sunday, and Sundays, how they be. So I go to this hospital. I go to the ward. I told my mom, I'm like, I can walk. The only problem is the arm, but I think I'm okay. I can walk. Let me go to the ward. So that is getting to 1 a.m. Reaching the ward, doctors managed to come through, and they came and they started. Now, the way this is, it's not like
how it was.
Yeah, the arm was okay, covered. And the doctor came and said, oh, this is just a dislocation. I think this is just a dislocation. He tied a box, got a bandage. Tied the arm. He's like, let's wait for morning, go to the x-ray and we see what we can do. So morning reaches. Remember, we are full of dust because it is that time is a sunny season. We are full of dust. We reach, they check.
Wow, that was a sad scene.
My mom is following me. She's like, how did we get here? How did we get here? But every parent's face, that was the question. Why my child of all people,
So now you go into the healing process.
Now, that's we thought it's something easy actually. We didn't know that it could take us months in the hospital. We thought it was something easy, and I mean within 1 month or maybe a few weeks, shall be gone and good to go. Only it reached the x-ray, and I had a dislocation in the shoulder, and the bones in the elbow had all been crushed. They had all been crushed. Then also this bone had also been broken completely here. So the damage was starting from here going upwards. They said, I think we can take her to the theater. Now, in the theater there, I think by the time they do a surgery, it's on your condition, it's like really, really complex. So they thought my condition was not so complex, so they weren't doing surgeries at that time. I would go in, and I don't know what they would do, but I think they would try putting fix the bones without necessarily cutting. But I went to the x-ray 3 times, and there was no change. I remember what
was the x-ray reading?
The x-ray was every time I would go to you first go to the x-ray, then you go to the theater. Now, the theater people be like, oh, I think we have done something, you're just assuming because you've not cut to see what exactly is inside. The next day you go to the x-ray, the same, there is no change. We go back. Of course, now there was this specialist. He had to always come around because our cases were a bit fragile. I mean, you're handling children and all eyes are on you. So he had to be around. So we had to always follow his recommendations. He says, I think we can wait to do a surgery. You can wait to do a surgery. But remember, all this time, my arm is wrapped in that box that I told you about with a bandage. So later on, I see blisters. The bandage was stopping here. These scars here were the blisters. They were so big. So we keep wondering, what could be the problem? So the doctor is like, maybe it could be a reaction or something because we have tied the arm, because we have been untying and the arm is okay. So the third time they tried, they failed. They said, we have failed. we're going to transfer you to Mbara. Yeah. So they wrote for us the referral letter. The doctor was kind enough. He moved with us. And then on the way, he told us, if you really want attention, you're not going to go to the hospital. But if you feel you have the money, let's take you to the clinic. You know, these doctors have their clinics somewhere. That's why they can attend to you properly rather than going to a referral, because the person who goes to operate in the referral is the owner of the clinic. So he gives attention more to the clinic first before he goes to the referral. Yeah. So we said it's okay, let's go to this clinic, because with our condition, with my blisters and all that, we couldn't now go to the referral. We don't know how long it's going to take before they actually work on me. So we go, the doctor comes in the evening, he checks on us. He's like, I think we can remove this in the morning. For now, bear with us because I'm a bit busy and all that. It's understandable. I spent the night there. Then the following day, one of the scaring days, I go to change. Now they wanted to change. I know what exactly is the problem before we can start. So they got to remove the gauze and pieces of flesh. Can I say flesh? Can I say dead flesh are coming out? And they're like, okay, hold on, let's first see. So they remove. And now there comes that smell, a stench. And they're like, wait, what's wrong? What exactly is the problem here? So they continue and remove the bandages, and then the final bandage came off with, like it came off with some, not the whole of it, but like it came off with some of it.
Oh my God.
Now my mom was stayed there. My dad had gone back home because families, you can't leave a whole family empty. So he had brought me. My mom at the time, she was at work. You have to save your job, and she was at work. That time they were transferring me, so I came with my dad. Then when we reached, my mom traveled and came. Then my dad had to travel back. So my mom was seated like there, and she's like, oh my God, what have I seen? And I kept
what was running in your mind then?
Oh, I was like, really? Because it was one of the least things I expected.
How are you consuming all that pain?
Now, this one, remember, it was unexpected. There's no time for paralyzing you or what. You have to feed it. Otherwise, it was going to cause more damage. So this lady's like, you know what? Get me a pair of scissors. I'm like, oh. So she starts plucking, putting in the dustbin.
As you're looking?
As I'm looking. Because she had to be sure that anything that was left was...
Charity, what was running in your mind?
I'm telling you, I cried. I cried because I kept on imagining, really? Now my arm is going to be like 3/4? Because a quarter was going in the dustbin when I'm sick.
Oh my God.
So she keeps plucking, putting in the what? In the dustbin. Then she washes the wound, dresses it up. Now the issue became more complex. At first we are dealing with only the bones, not knowing that there's going to be a what? A wound. But remember, this wound, you couldn't operate me before it heals. Otherwise you're causing more damage. Now we thought we'd spend like maybe 3 days in the clinic or something, and then we spent there over a month. And every day is counting. The wound is not healing. And they couldn't touch. And
the bills are piling.
Of course, for the bills I can't talk because I'm not underpaid, but I could feel the atmosphere. So later on, the doctor is like, you know what? I think we're going to the last resort. There was this nerve they were looking for. Because from the look of things, they didn't expect there is a nerve that connects the wrist. So they said if this nerve is spoiled, there would be no need of us keeping the arm. We would just cut it off and you count your losses and begin living a life without an arm. So my mom, I saw her praying, you know what, God, for sure, don't let this happen. They came again. They said, but this wound has refused. What we are going to do, we are going to do skin grafting. The skin was picked from the thigh, from my left thigh. So they pick this skin and put here. Now the doctor's instructions were, do not remove this gauze till 1 week is done. I think maybe he had done it on other patients. Well, I don't know. Whereas for me, when the wound was healing, it was healing when the gauze is getting stuck inside. So we go to the hospital. There at Cavalier Regional Referral, we go. And on a normal day, the outpatient department, because as home, they would come and work on me from home. Then, yeah. So on a normal day, I am like, Mom, I think the days are done. Let's go and remove the gauze. Oh, it's okay. But I think that's one of the worst days in the whole experience. Yeah.
What happened?
Now we reached the ward very early, like at 7:30, and the nurses, these student nurses, of course, they thought it is a normal thing. They tried to remove the gauze. That's okay. That's okay. Then as they are moving forward, the thing is stuck. They soak it. An hour, 2 hours, the thing is not moving. One doctor comes and is like, you know what, you guys are wasting time. Patients are outside waiting for us. We have a long day. What? Get me a surgical blade. I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, they're getting a surgical blade. Like, to do what? The doctor is like, yeah, that's the only option that we have because it has refused. Now, the wound was already like healing, but when the gauze was
still stuck inside.
So the only option was to cut so that the gauze can come out. So they put me on those beds. And then I think they told my mom to get out because she couldn't contain it. She couldn't. So the nurses hold me, and then this person gets a surgical blade and cuts. Cuts.
The whole wound.
Cuts the whole wound.
Afresh.
And like all the nurses were crying. The student nurses, they're all looking at me. They were crying. I was screaming. The whole place was full of blood. Because this is something maybe they could have planned and put me in the theater room so that I don't feel the pain. But because of the urgency of the issue, and they couldn't now leave me just with an open, because half of it was okay, but half of the other was the one with a problem. So they had to deal with it. So they cut and remove, and that's also another wound. Created. This one is not healing. This one now is also created. Oh, the arm is also still waiting. So they cut, dumped everything there when I'm seeing. They rolled, they cleaned the wound. After cleaning the wound, they put a bandage. Then I had to go home. Now, you imagine the Kawale coldness. You can't cover yourself. Your arm is still in the other state. They haven't worked on it. The wound itself, you know, these things, it's so cold in the night. The only thing that used to be around me was a mosquito net. Because once you put a bedding, it's going to touch. And yet we are trying to
heal the wound.
To heal the wound. That went on like for a month.
Those are now 2 months.
Those are 2 months.
You're not at school.
Not at school, and this is P7. Oh God. So we get back to the hospital. When it tried drying and all that, we were like, we are good to go. Let's go back and have this arm worked on, because it was also now an issue. So I entered the theater room. I entered like around 11 a.m. and I came out like around 7, getting to 8 in the night. Now, when I was being transferred to Mbara at that time, if I take you back, I came with 2 friends. But their injuries, I think, I also looked at them, I used to think we are the same. But their injuries were not so serious like mine. So when they would enter the theater room, 1 hour, 2 hours, they are done. So now me, I enter at 11. So 11, midday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. you're still inside. 10 hours, you're inside. Of course, me, I didn't know. But my mom says, at some point, I even almost called your dad to tell him, you know what, I think this girl is dead and they don't want to release her. Who spent 10 hours in the theater. But the issue was so complex. So when they worked on me, they put nails. They had to fix the bone back. And then here they had to put a plate. Then they put in 6 nails. Then in here, they had to put in like 3 nails to try fixing. They're just fixing because the damage was done. Nothing could be done. Like something for the joint to start moving. Well, no, nothing could be done. So they had to fix in nails just for the bones to, okay, let them get back maybe I don't know, maybe just to put them in place.
Put them together.
Yeah, just that.
And move on.
And move on with life. Good enough. The nerve was found okay. Now, because they found it okay, they took that time because they wanted to be extra careful not to destroy it. Yeah. So I come out.
So in that period, why could you hear from your other colleagues that were involved in the accident?
Nah, I couldn't. That time everyone was
On
one man's battle. Yeah, everyone was on their own. Because we were going through a lot.
So now, Charity, you've gone through all this process of trying to heal. So now, finally, you're left with permanent scars.
Oh, yes.
And a permanent deafness
yeah.
in your left ear. I read part of your story.
Yes.
And I want to congratulate you for being nominated for the Girl Champion Awards.
I'm humbled.
For the Survivor Advocate Award.
Yes.
A girl from Kabale.
Oh, yes.
You got involved in accident 2012. 2024, you're being nominated for an award advocating for accident survivors.
Oh, yes.
How did you get there? How did you know you're going to... Okay, how did you now start to think that I should advocate for other people who have gotten accidents?
Well, you see, when you've been through something yourself, you always feel there are very many other people out there going through the same. But if I came and just told you, be like, oh, an accident, okay. Like, that's okay, that's normal, you know. But us that have been there, me that has been there, I am the one who truly knows the suffering that I've gone through. There are those untold moments that you keep to yourself.
The sleepless nights.
You're looking
at pain. You're looking at the doctors plucking off your flesh.
The pain.
And throwing it in the trash.
Oh, yes.
You're looking at your flesh going. And then you go back at home, you put your head on a pillow.
You can't sleep.
You're thinking about those moments.
You can't sleep. Actually, it's one of the traumatizing moments that I've had. You can't. Like, oh, they removed my piece and put it in the dustbin. You get something that a week ago I was okay, and now it's in the dustbin. Like, you can't. You simply can't sleep. So because of what I went through, and much as we had thought it's something simple, something easy, and then it kept on becoming complex, bit by bit, complex, bit by bit. Remember, people at school studying, you're not studying. I don't have notes. I don't have what. And I wasn't looking at myself repeating. I told my mom, I'm like, no, I am not repeating. I cannot repeat. If it means me studying for one term, I'm going to do so. So when these guys were registering, you remember at that time, P7, they were registering in first term. I told my mom, get time, I'm going.
So how many candidates were involved in that accident?
Approximately like 80 something.
80?
Yeah.
And how many
that time
were
the school was really booming. We had very many people.
Like how many students were candidates?
That time were like around 60 something.
So the whole people who were involved were about 80?
Yes, 80 were now. Now, when they packed us, there are some that stayed. Of course, we couldn't all fit. But the 80 are the ones who were like on that.
No, I mean like how many candidates?
On the track. Now, in total, we're like 100 and something. We're like 125 because P6 had 3 streams, P7 had 3 streams. So, combined were like
So it was
120.
quite a number
Yeah,
that
it was
was
quite a
missing
number.
out.
Yeah. So I think he looked at the costs and he's like, I think if I pack them on a lorry and they go, I'll have saved, because there are quite many. Because later on I got to know that some actually stayed behind. When the truck got so full, some were told, okay, can you stay, and then we take you in the morning. You get. So it means that we are really full by the fact that some stayed behind. But remember me, the anxiety of wanting to see my mother the following day and her bringing me a new bucket, because my bucket had gotten broken, was why I entered first so that I could be at school. Yeah.
So do you regret that day?
No, that's like a hard question, because I didn't wake up and plan that, okay, I'm going to get this accident. But partly I do regret. Partly. I do regret. Of course, as a normal human being, no one would really want to wake up and tell that they're happy with this. No one. You're not happy with this. Because you're going to answer questions for the rest of your life. You're going to answer questions. People are going to ridicule. People are going to make assumptions. People are going to talk. And naturally, as a person, words always get to the soul. But on the other side, I think it made me realize who actually I was, who actually I am, what I'm capable of. I didn't know that I could become an accident survivor advocate. I didn't. How?
You even
How?
never thought about it.
I even never thought
Even
about
when you're
it.
reading your books, maybe I don't know what you wanted to be. What did you
I
want to be?
wanted to be I wanted to be a lawyer at that
You wanted to
time.
be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But you're busy advocating for accident survivors.
I know. I wanted to be this lawyer that entered, okay, wearing that whole thing, because I'd seen my cousins study law, and we used it to wait for their graduation cakes, So I always looked forward to being a lawyer. Yeah.
Now you're busy winning awards.
And now I'm
for
busy
advocating for accident
Oh,
survivors.
yes.
So what do you make of all that story?
I thank God. I really thank him that I survived. And I thank him so much that despite the fact that all this happened, I still managed to stand out. In primary, because of this, I was in the primary school that I was in from nursery to P6 was different. Now, I was this person that was, like, I would make noise in class, do what, but I was this outspoken, like, social what, but my mom was like, you're not reading, so I think I should take you to this school. Now, the school that she took me to is where all this happened. So there, I didn't get a chance to become a leader or something. But in my secondary, I remember I was a class counselor in my Form 1. I remember they said, who can become a class counselor? And then I put up my arm jokingly, and students are like, yes, I think she can become one. And as one, Form 2, up to Form 2. Then Form 2, there was at Immaculate Heart, there is something called Miss Peace and Her Excellency pageant. Now, I was like, I think I should come for Miss Peace. What's so special? I go inquiring. What is needed? What do they ask? What? So I was always up to date. But remember, people don't know who I am.
So you mean you were covering that up?
Yeah. It was a boarding school, sweaters are allowed. Me, I used to carry blazers. If it's not a long-sleeved top, then I'm going to carry blazers. So I'll carry 4 sweaters, 4 tops, long-sleeve tops.
Why were you doing all that?
Because I didn't want people to ask. I didn't want people to know at the time.
It was a daily reminder of that.
Yeah,
time.
I didn't want people to run away from me, At least when I put on something and you don't take keen interest, you wouldn't notice. So I didn't want to feel out of place, maybe miss out on opportunities just because of how I look. So I found it. Now imagine with this arm at that time, and then you're going for Miss Peace. Of course, the school will look at you with this whole thing of how of all the people around, because at that time people used to think it's like a beauty pageant, something like that. So I wanted to fit in the society. I wanted to fit in the society, and thankfully it worked. But remember, it couldn't work for longer. Yes, it couldn't work forever. The shirts are getting smaller, the weather is getting hotter, and you have to feel normal. So a few that knew were my classmates and the people that I used to stay with in the same dormitory. They're the ones that knew.
But now, Charity, there's something I'm curious to understand. You couldn't hide it forever.
You could.
There are moments when people saw it.
Yes.
And they ask you, oh my God, what happened? How do you deal with that?
People are funny. They will not ask you openly.
Hey.
You'll see them backbiting.
Really?
Have you seen that arm? Like, have you seen that arm? Are you seeing what is happening? Like, did you know that she's like this? Then you turn and you see of them like, okay. I think, anyway, I would understand them. What if this asking is going to bring someone the memories and they cry? Are you going to comfort them?
How are you handling all that?
I would like tell them, I'm like, oh, you're looking at my arm. Then they're like, oh yes, what happened? And then I'm like, oh, it's a motor accident. But never mind, I'm getting fine. And they're like, oh, we are sorry. You know, like how you, we are sorry. And I'm like, it's okay, never mind. I mean, I'm okay. Have you heard me crying or complaining? It's okay. It's all right. But, well, of course, there are days you're going to sit back and you're going to question yourself, like, for how long am I going to keep answering these questions? For how long am I going to keep meeting people? Because you're growing. You're going to meet people. Every time you meet, you're introducing yourself, telling them what happened. You meet new people, introduce yourself, tell them what happened. For how long? But this is it, and you're not going to change it. So you're going to deal with it whether you want it.
Is there anything that inspired you to do that or to start thinking like that?
When people kept on, you know,
poking and
doing all that, I was like, why don't I
openly come out
and save people the burden?
So you threw away the jackets and
I threw them away.
The sweaters and
I threw them away. That was like in Form 4. I threw them away, and actually I enjoyed my last year in Immaculate Heart. That was Form 4.
So how was the reaction like?
And the students embraced me, actually. Of course, not everyone would embrace you. You know society. Not everyone would embrace you. But they embraced me for who I was. They didn't look at the scar. They looked at who is Charity. Who is this lady?
So do you think, was that your turning point? Would you consider that as your turning point?
Not yet. Not yet. Because having that fear, these are only ladies. You have not met the side where you're going to be meeting with gentlemen.
Men, boys.
So I cannot consider that a turning point. In my Form 5, I'm taken to Island of Africa. And I told my mom, I'm like, Mommy, do they allow casual clothes? She's like, no. They have boarding uniform. I'm like, how is the boarding uniform? They are t-shirts and skirts. I'm like, she knew immediately. She could tell that this girl is scared. Is scared.
She's not comfortable.
Yeah, she's not comfortable. But it was already too late. We couldn't do anything about it. So I go, reach school, and of course they tell me to change. I was putting on my long sleeve dress, the one that I came with from home. So they tell me, go and change and put on this uniform, the sweater. You're going to take it for deboarding. I'm like, what do you mean deboarding? Because I wanted to be with my sweater. I'd even already put it on. You know, you put on your fold, reach like here, and life moves on. People don't ask. I'm like, no, hello, remove the sweater, want to label. I looked at my mom. Parents were all curious. So I removed my sweater, and all parents turned. Hey, they all looked at me with this sort of thing. What happened? So my mom is also seated calmly. So I got the school nurse. She's like, oh, what happened? Trust me. That is 2017. I cried. Don't ask me where the tears came from. Don't ask me what made me cry. But I remember crying. And serious crying. And then when she would say sorry,
it was what? Inevitable, Charity. I mean, from what you have told me and what you went through, somebody asked, trying to inquire from you what happened.
Oh, yes. She was trying to...
mind of that pain.
Yeah, she was trying to know, because she's a nurse. She's supposed to know all the health conditions of the students that come in. So I tell her, my mom comes in, I try to stop crying, tells the nurse, you know, she got an accident, but she's okay, don't mind her, she's okay. Like trying to make her feel okay. She's like, no. She's not supposed to do housework. Let the normal people do the housework. But remember now, you're going to go to the dormitory. Your name is not attached to this one. Got an accident. Don't do housework. When the matron is allocating, your name will be somewhere. So me, I'm not cleaning, and then I'm pulled from class. Why are you not cleaning? I'm like, but the nurse said I'm not supposed to clean because of my condition. No. Okay, at least you can do something. I'm like, but people. Anyway, me, I'm not a person who really wants to press because over time I got used to working with one arm, so I wouldn't really want to press people and all that. I'm like, it's okay, give me what you can give me, I will do. Or even a good day, you'd even find me scrubbing with my arm, and seriously scrubbing. I'm like, it's okay. Of course the effects were there, but for peace to reign, and of course I had classes to attend, let's not drag this.
You had to do the work.
Yeah, let's not drag this. But on the days when I would feel like it's too much, then I would not do it. Like,
so Charity, sorry, it's quite a big wound.
A real
it's
big
a big
one.
wound.
Yeah.
Has it ever won you any favors?
Yeah, there are days when you feel like, okay, I'm going here, I feel like I should expose myself so that maybe I pass quickly. Yeah, so like you see, I've actually, most places where they be checking people, bring your bag, put here. I mean, they say that, oh madam, you pass, and to me that's a favor. I don't need big favors. That's a favor by the fact that you've checked all the other people and you've let me pass without you checking me and giving me that respect, telling people to create space and making it feel safe for me. That's enough.
Has it ever won you any opportunity, like, because of this, we are recommending you, or we are giving you this opportunity?
Well, not really. Oh, maybe the time when I was doing, I was doing my stone quarrying. Some things you want to keep them off media.
That story.
You want to keep things off media, but people really want to push you.
That story.
Yes.
There's a story
Yes.
of you during the lockdown.
Yeah.
You were captured doing stone quarrying. Why did you do that?
Now,
Or why did you even choose to do that?
I wouldn't even tell. Now, lockdown comes in. I'm home. Stones are there. Hammers are there. And why are you doing anything? You're from campus, that abrupt lockdown, and you're wondering, okay, what next? So I tell my dad, I'm like, I think I want to try hitting the stones. He's like, but Charity, with your arm. Remember, that's how many years? Because that was 2022. Charity, your arm. But that's 10 years ago. I'm like, Dad, it's okay. Because I'm going to be using this, the right arm to hit. This is just for holding. But okay, when you do it, make sure someone else carries, not you. I'm like, okay, yeah. So we start. Now, my dad was there the first day to monitor. Children, we can be big-headed. We think, of course, I'm the one who is having my arm. But there are those maybe things that you think you're okay, but when you're not okay. So he's like, okay, I have to stay here. He stays 1 hour, 2 hours. Charity, no. Enough. You can go. I'm like, but no. So like I picked interest. I kept on hitting my stones. And then there were guys like who were around, who would carry for me the big stones they put there. They also hit with me. Like everyone had like a heel. We had heels. So a friend in media was like, but Charity, as if I saw your status and you're hitting stones. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it, and I want to make money. I want to make money. But with your arm? Because they know. With your arm? I'm like, yes, with my arm.
What was inspiring you, by the way? Where is that?
At that time.
Where is that motivation coming from?
At that time, I needed money.
For what?
I needed money. I was going to contest for guild president at MOOBS. That's how
Charity,
ambitious I was.
At Charity?
Yes, I was like, nah. Guild president, these people who are coming to contest, like, what's so special about them? So I was like, I have to contest. So no sooner had I announced that I was going to contest than they put the lockdown. I was like, now this is an opportunity for me to look for money. Because yes, as you're going to go in these organizations looking for funds, but you have to get money for yourself to be able to facilitate the whole campaigns and all that. Of course, later on, I was under the NRM party. I believe in harmony. We had to come to conclusion, of course, after very many discussions and negotiations. That's how not easy I was. I cannot wake up one morning and I start to contest and then you want to put me down. No, we have to sit on a round table and discuss. So we negotiate. When we came to conclusion, we chose one candidate. It wasn't me, for reasons best known, and we all agreed. But I was like, I'll push you. But at that time, the discussions came after the lockdown. So during the lockdown, I'm doing my stones and these guys are calling, guy, where are you? Are you in Kampala? I'm like, no, me, I'm in Kabade. I'm at home. We have a site, we're hitting stones. I thought you're this side, we come and hit with you. I'm like, guild president. At that time, the current guild president that was there, that we were supposed to replace, was then asking, I'm like, yes. Then another media person was like, if I were you, I wouldn't post this. This is so below you. I'm like, what do you mean below me? This is what I want. This is what I want to do. Then before he knew it, other friends were coming. We want to get your story. Where today, I do not know how I broke into the media. All I know is that I was trending. All I know is that Daily Monitor came. They interviewed me, got me with my hammers. My interviews went well. I was in the newspapers. Campus B was all there making, for them, they want to twist the stories. I was like, it's okay. As long as my name is moving, I don't care. And I'm not moving because I'm doing something bad. I'm doing something good. I'm earning an income. Yes, I'm earning an income. So before I know it, hello, Charity, where I'm like, I'm at home. But today I have a break off site. No, we are coming for an interview. I'm like, okay, fine. I dressed, went back for my site. Started. They came, interviewed me. Before I knew it, people were calling me, oh, Charity, I think I saw you on Urban TV. I'm like, guys, what are you talking about? I thought this story got done a long time ago. No. People are sending clips. Charity, isn't this you? Charity, isn't this you? Oh my God.
How did you feel?
It felt nice. Because who am I? Who am I? But the reason they picked interest was, you're hitting and the arm is like this and that. But how? How do you do it? When you're not into something, sometimes when they tell you, you're like, no. So they were all wondering how. And they wrote and they got stories.
You've been captured by different media houses. Your story has been told by quite a number of people.
Yes.
Here we are having a conversation about the same thing. I don't know who is going to call you next and have a conversation and then tell your story.
I know.
You're here winning awards. Man, do you count yourself like, I am blessed, or there's something burning in you that keeps on pushing you and pushing you forward?
I think I'm blessed. How many people have gotten accidents, but they do not have a platform?
Do you think it was meant to happen?
Maybe God programmed and was like, you know what, I think let this happen, and then these opportunities start doing what? Coming. Because I'm assuming if I was normal, trust me, no one was ever going to notice. If I was normal, I think I would be living my normal life like low-key.
What could you have done different if your arm was...
That's a hard
if your
one.
arm was kawa.
That's a hard one because I think I've done everything that I've wanted to do, even when my arm was okay. Yeah, when I accepted myself that this is who I am and this is going to be it for the rest of my life, I started living my life. Because if I was normal, maybe putting on sleeveless jackets, designer coats, designer clothes. But I've done that. I've done that even with a scar. I've done it and I'm happy.
You're happy.
I'm happy.
Now you're here advocating for the little ones. You always speak to the little ones, especially those that have been involved in motor accidents.
Yes.
What do you tell them?
Now, that's a hard one. Everyone has their own experience, first-hand experience. But I would tell them, let it not shatter their dreams. There is life after an accident. But again, I would also want to talk to the parents. Parents, parents, even guardians, this is the time when these children need you the most.
During after an accident?
Yes, after an accident. Whether minor, they need you because you do not know what they are going through beneath. So be there, be present. You know, there are those days like I would want to talk to someone. And I would go to my mama, but mommy, do you think I would ever be fine? And you know, as a parent, of course, even if they are lying, they'll be like, yeah, you're going to be fine. Even this one is going to heal and go away because I'm a kid. And I'm like, okay. But of course, as you grow, you realize, actually, she was just telling me to console me. Because if she had told me at that time that maybe this was not going to go, maybe I could have harmed myself. Or maybe I could have rejected myself on spot. So, parents, be available in these children's lives. They need you. They need that emotional support. They need that shoulder to lean on because society is not going to accept them. Society is not going to accept them. It's going to stigmatize them. So you're the only people that can love these children the way they want to be loved. Provide for them where you can. Of course, I understand the financial constraints that come through. But as a parent, you're going to work extra hard. You're going to double or triple your efforts so that you're able to take care of this child. You're going to. Because the times I was moving in and out of the hospital, I was not on any insurance. It was my parents looking for the funds.
So now when they look at you, Charity, especially your mom who was very close to you.
Yeah.
You look at each other the same way I'm looking at you like this. And she looks at the wound inevitably.
Yeah.
What do you guys talk about? What does she say?
She keeps saying, Charity, but you know you're blessed. I'm like, Mommy, do you have to remind me about that? She's like, you are a special child. So when she tells me that, sometimes I shed tears. I'm like, by the time she mentions that, it's coming from somewhere.
From the heart.
And from the heart. You are a special child. And you are destined for greatness. Because there are things I've done and she keeps wondering, but how? How? There's no things keep unfolding themselves in a way that she can't even think of. Because like the jobs I'm doing, she has not even been part of them. She just sees, Mom, I'm working. Mom, I'm doing this. Mom, I'm working with this project. Mom, I'm going to do this. Mom, I'm meeting these people. Mom, these ones called me. They want to meet me. She's just seated and saying things.
Is she aware of this conversation?
Is she?
Did you tell her?
I just gave her a brief sometime. I'm like, they will, but I didn't tell her when. And she was like, okay, when it happens, well and good. When it doesn't, still it's okay. So she doesn't know that it's actually happening today. And yet I spoke to her last night. I was like, no, let me not tell her. Let it come as a surprise.
What do you think she will feel about this conversation?
No, she's going to be the happiest mother.
Have you ever broken down and say, Mommy, thank you?
Countless times. You know, when you're young, there's where you want things to go. So at that time, there are times when I would like get annoyed, like I'm angry, thinking maybe she's not present enough. But now that I've grown, I've finished school. You're out there looking for money. And things are not adding up. There are good days, there are bad days. I call her and I'm like, you know what, Mom? Thank you so much. Because I've now realized exactly what you went through, the sacrifices that you had to go through so that I could become okay. I could become comfortable. I could be who I am today. I tell her, and she knows, even on a good day, you put some money for her and you're like, you know what, Mommy, I think you deserve, she likes fish. I think you deserve a big plate of fish here and here. This is your token. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. But I'm doing it because of what we've gone through. What we have gone through. And both of them have been supportive. My dad has been there. Charity, how do you feel? Charity, is everything okay? And I keep telling him, I'm like, Daddy, I'm okay. And he's like, okay, if you're fine, then I'm also okay.
So what's your view about life? How do you define life?
Life
At 25.
at 20 at some point I tell people that I'm 25 and they always argue that no, you're 30, you're 35, you're this. I'm like, people, it's me telling you. I know my date of birth. I know my growing. Me naturally, I've grown when I'm healthy, energetic. So when I tell that I'm 25,
and bold, don't forget that.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. When I tell that I'm 25, then I'm 25. So when you start overestimating me, I don't understand you. And then I ask them, the ones that I'm free with, ask them why. And they're like, Charity, no. The people you've met, the things you're doing. At my age, 33, 37, I have not done what you're doing at 25.
So what's life?
So I think life is, to me, life is like a precious gift that has its own turn of events that you as a person has to just embrace. There are things that you cannot change or predetermine or be like, I want my life to be like this. No, life has a way it rolls and it has a way it puts you in shape. If it feels that you're taking this way, it will come and put you straight. Tough times, good times, and life is rolling.
What do you tell God every day?
My God. I thank him.
Your God is my God, eh?
Now, yes, he's your God, but let me be a bit selfish. My God. Now, every day I hear, this accident happened, people have died. These ones have gone to the hospital, people have died. I remember when I was in the hospital, in that surgical ward, I remember I found some people, they were not so ill, like so damaged, but I remember like 3 died. One was my neighbor, another one was adjacent, and another one was like in the corner. They died on different days.
You're carrying all this trauma.
And like at midnight, you're hearing people like they're whispering. They want to, of course, I was the only child in the ward because the other children had been had left because they were okay. Now me, I stayed. So they didn't want to scare me. Because the person we talked with yesterday shared food, and the person is gone. After 2 days, the person that was walking, trying to move, trying to figure life, is gone. After a week, one was in the corner, like, oh, he's improving, he can eat, he can do this. In the night, gone. And they're whispering, and you'll be there watching them roll them out. Who am I? Who am I? Because anything could have happened. Maybe in the theater something could have happened and I would not have come out. Who am I? So I thank God every single day because I know there is a reason as to why he's still keeping me safe. He's still keeping me alive. He's making me a voice to the voiceless. There is a reason why. I know. I feel it. I might not see it, but I feel it. Maybe 10 years from now, who knows? You're a minister somewhere and you're advocating that let's have these motorists behaving on the road because of what you've gone through, because of the experience that you've gone through.
Are you advocating for anything like road safety, something like that?
For now, I was focusing on the people who have survived. But of course, road safety is in the pipeline because if the road users are behaving, then the way we are having all these accidents all the time would really, really reduce. It's just having discipline on the road. Know your weight, because at that time, if this person had known that, okay, I think I am having very many people on the vehicle, let me stop here and let them be able to do what? To get off the vehicle. Discipline. And also reasoning, like some things you do not need to be told that do this, do that. Use your head and know that, okay, I am over speeding, let me reduce on my speed because anything could happen.
True.
Yes.
I hear you loud and clear, and I always tell my peers that The difference between us and the people we aspire to be or we admire to be is discipline. How everyone conducts themselves amidst others is what makes them different from others.
Oh, yes.
Now, Charity, you're living with some permanent or lifetime traumas.
Yeah.
Just like the sins you've just explained to me. But you harbor them. How do you afford a smile every day? From the time I met you, you're always happy. Amidst all of these traumas running in your head.
Now.
And the news you watch on TV.
Oh, yes.
People are dying. People are losing lives to accidents. How do you afford a smile every day?
I learned to accept the reality. You see, when you lose a person who is so dear to you, you do not always cry for you. Like, you cannot mourn forever. You reach a point and you're like, you know what? I think this person is gone. Let me accept and move on. That's me. That part died. It can never resurrect. No amount of miracle is going to come and be like, Charity, you're going to be the original Charity. The original Charity. No. Now that this person is gone and gone for good, who is this new person that has come up? Let's embrace this Charity. So I always smile because when I sit and look back and see the things God has done for me, the people that I've met, the people that I've inspired, the people I've motivated, the people that I've changed, the people that I have helped in all walks of life. I always tell God, thank you. And the other reason I smile, my mom tells me, you know, Charity, your skin color is a unique one. Because I remember also fighting that, like trying to accept myself with my dark skin color. But I told God, I'm like, no, there is a reason why. Because I've met people who admire the color. They're like, but you know what, you're beautiful. Even with the scars, even with the scars, but this color, you're so beautiful. So me, I know. For this color to shine brighter, to come out well, to come out nicely, I just have to put a smile. Because imagine with this face and then you're not smiling, who would approach you? No one. You would be looking fierce. So, but remember, you're trying to make a positive impact in the lives of people. So what can you do? All you have to do is smile, even on a bad day.
Do you have any success story where somebody says, Charity, you spoke to my child is improving, or...
There are quite many. Like I can't even remember. There are quite many. They even call me Charity. My daughter is like this. Can you help me and talk to my daughter, my son, my what? There are so many. I wouldn't really want to single out, because if I single out, it would look like I am maybe factoring on money. Nah. That one I could say is it a calling? Because I do not want to attach any financial aspect in that walk of life. Because I've been there. Imagine someone wants someone to talk to, someone to give them the hope, and then you're asking for money. You're asking for money. How? It doesn't even make sense, because this person wants you to motivate them. Child. Like maybe they have woken up, they're feeling so bad that day is not going on well. Maybe let's say the wheelchairs are affecting them and maybe they're not able to get where they wanted to be that day, and you're asking for money. No.
So meaning you are available if anyone, probably those people are going to be watching this, if anyone has a child or maybe anyone who is going through trauma and they are failed to heal, can they approach you? It's
very okay.
You can speak to them anytime.
It's very okay. Anytime, as long as we get in touch, we can make an appointment, an arrangement, and I talk to them. I mean, people were there for me. I remember there are doctors that were there for me, and at some point they told my mom, do not pay. Do not pay. I think Charity has suffered enough. This one is on us. So who am I? Let me return the favor.
So now how are you making money, Charity?
Adulthood. I'm a graduate, like I told you, from MOBS, Nakawa. I tutor at MTAC. Yes. And the other side hustles, I could say, I do the MCing. On a good day, I'll do the MCing. You get those little monies and life moves on. There are very many other small things that I do because I'm flexible, getting in touch with people, writing for them. There are those that are so busy, they delegate you their responsibilities. Then at the end of the day, they give you some money. That's what I do.
Now you took back the award at home, the Girl Champion Award, Survivor Advocate Award. You took it home. You give it to your mom. Mommy, daddy?
No, actually she was there.
How come I didn't see her?
She was present.
How did she feel about that whole thing?
Oh, so they read my name and she's like, I hadn't even told her, you know what? I just told her, we're going to have this awarding ceremony. If you can, come through. She's like, nothing is stopping me. I'm coming. So her and my sister came, my follower. So when they read Aniembabazi charity, she came to the stage and she was so happy. She's like, oh my God, this is an achievement. For all the years and the struggles, like, is this you? Because I remember at some point you hated yourself. She started reminding me, you hated yourself. You didn't want to see yourself. You used to cry. You used to judge yourself. And here you are, dressed like this and telling your story and sharing your pictures. And people are inspired. So she was so happy, like very excited. She was so excited. She kept telling me, keep it very well. I think if it's possible, I don't know, she could keep it like in a like in a safe or something. Keep it very well. Keep it very well. I'm like, Mommy, but we have just started. Because I've realized myself, we have just started. She's like, yes, but this one, keep it very well.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, Charity, to be honest with you, I must confirm that indeed you healed. Honestly speaking, from the time we've had a conversation, how you've been telling me your story, I don't see any sign of you feeling sorry for yourself.
Nah.
I don't see you feeling like, oh my God,
crying.
I don't see that in you.
Nah.
I must say that you've totally healed, and may you use that gift to inspire and motivate so many other people. I always tell my friends that the biggest asset that we all need or have is hope.
Yes.
Once you don't have it, you don't live.
Of course, yeah.
And some sell it.
Yeah.
Some give it away for free.
Yeah.
Some buy it.
Yes.
Others receive it for free.
Yeah.
So be in that space where you're giving that hope for free. Believe you me, probably you've been called for that. Inspire so many. And in many more rewards will always come your way.
Amen.
So this is how we always do here on Live with Simon Chris Makanga.
Okay.
We're going to have some rapid questions. It's not a courtroom.
No, it's okay.
Feel free to pass what you don't feel like. But also, why we do this is that we want to know you a little bit deeper.
Okay.
To understand who is Charity, such that when you go to speak to those little ones, they will understand, okay, she is one of us, or they resonate with you very well. Okay, now, your guilty pleasure.
I love talking.
You love talking. Talking is your guilty pleasure.
I love talking. And anywhere I go, I feel like, okay, even if it's a space of two people, I want to dominate, like talk. Not just throwing words there, but talking. That's why you'll find me, even in my class, I'll tell them, you know what, you're going to study for 2 hours, 30 minutes, I'm going to talk. And they're like, okay, it's okay. So we do that. I'd be like, do we start with the talking or do we end with the talking? Then they'll be like, okay, I think we can end with the talking. So we study 2 hours marathon, 30 minutes talking.
So you are a storyteller?
Yeah.
Okay. Cold shower, hot shower?
Cold shower.
Cold shower. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Not hot, no. Not a fan. Yeah. Okay.
TikTok, Facebook, X, Instagram. Which one is your favorite?
Facebook. I'm not even on TikTok.
Not on TikTok. So
not even on Instagram. Facebook.
Only Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you think you need to explore other social media handles?
Because by the fact that I'm emceeing, I think I need to now learn how to create content. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How would you describe your childhood neighborhood?
An interesting one. We had very many children around us, very many, and surprisingly, I am a unifying factor, by the way. So I've managed to bump into one, and I have their contacts. I even tell my mom, like, Mommy, Daddy, I think I met this person. They're like, what? After how many years? I'm like, yes. So it was a very good neighborhood with parents who were understanding and cooperative. Because I remember, like, my elder cousins and those neighboring old girls were all studying, like, from the same school. So at the time, we had a car. Our parents had a car. So the car would take in shifts to school. And that was something nice. You can't find it in every neighborhood. Yes.
Wow. How were your Sundays like?
My Sundays are normal.
When you were young?
When we were young, wake up, prepare, go to church, then go for Sunday school. That was my best moment. Sunday school, sometimes they give us sweets, we sing songs, and then we go back home, find food ready, eat, and then we'd play with our dad.
How would you handle rejection?
I take it in a positive way, like positive criticism. There is a reason why someone has rejected you, or someone has rejected the idea, so I take it as a positive criticism, something that is going to construct me positively. I'm not going to take it negatively, because not everyone, like I earlier said, is going to accept you. So when you reject me, when you reject my idea, there is a basis, or there is a reason why that rejection came. So maybe someone could reject you. I could give an example. Someone could reject you because maybe your idea is too childish. So am I going to get annoyed? No, I sit back and plan and bring people on board. Why? Of course, when you reject, I ask you why. I mean, I push to know why, because that why is going to help me, not you. So when you're fearing that maybe you're going to, I'm going to lose you as a friend, no. I appreciate you. Go back and build myself to be better. Yeah.
If your mom and dad are in different locations and they all asking for money, who do you send first?
My mom.
Why?
She's a darling. My mom, but I would also make sure is there a but I would also make sure if she has asked, let's say I have like 100,000 on me, and she's saying give me 100,000, I'll send like 70, then I also spare some for this one, because I don't want to look like I've given one person and I've not given the other, because they are both my parents. They're both my parents, and I would have to appreciate them.
What makes you angry?
Angry? When someone tells lies. Yeah. Like you don't want to come out and be open. And you keep lying. And people who live a fake lifestyle. Oh God. Those ones really make me angry. Like you want to fake life, yet you could be real, and then opportunities find you in the real version of you. You get? Because you're going to fake it and people think you're okay. Opportunities keep bypassing you. And before you know it, that's why we're having a lot of suicide cases. People do not want to talk. They do not want to accept social media. People want to fake life. But be real. My stone quarrying, I was real. I didn't want to fake it. Otherwise, I would have maybe lied and put my nails and they're all like on the side. But no. Be simple, be real. So once you fake it, I get angry at you.
What excites you the most?
when I'm home, like with my parents, I always look forward to being with them. Now that I've grown, I realize how important they are. So like I always want to be with them, and like when I'm traveling to go there, I'm excited. Like the journey going there is always exciting, but the journey coming back.
Charity, your first kiss.
Pass.
I think I should stop asking this question to my guests. Why do you always want to? All my guests want to pass this question.
Because once I tell you, no, pass.
Hey. Okay. I want you to look into that camera. I want you to speak to the little ones, especially those that are nursing wounds, anyone going through trauma. Speak to the little ones and speak to the parents. Share with them some wisdom.
To everyone watching this, especially everyone that is nursing those wounds, the visible ones and the invisible ones, I would want to tell you that everything happens for a reason, and God knows why. Do not feel broken. Do not feel rejected. There is a lot more to life. To the parents, I would first appreciate the fact that you're still present in these people's lives. It's not easy. Even the caretakers, it could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your relative or a close friend. I would really want to thank you so much, because it's not easy taking care of a person with special needs. But you have to have a lot of patience and time and commitment. You have to commit yourself to these people because they need your care, they need your love. They need to feel your presence as they go through that trying moment. Once you do that, we can all have a better world. We can all have a positive world to live in. We can all be able to achieve those dreams. We can all be able to become happy, and we can all be able to lift each other. Yes.
That's the most important thing, Charity, and I want to applaud you for that. Thank you so much for restoring hope to so many other people. Like I said, please don't sell it.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
Give it away for free.
Yes.
And many rewards will come your way.
Yes.
Thank you so much for passing by.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Friends, thank you so much for being part of this conversation, especially those that have been with us right from the Genesis up to now, that I'm going to be saying bye-bye to you. I want to remind you that do something for others. Appreciate others. Sell hope to them, not in terms of cash. Give out hope. Restore hope into other people. When you see somebody struggling, even a word like keep pushing, it's okay for you to go through whatever you're going through. Those small words, they really do matter a lot. They restore hope into many other people's lives. Thank you so much, friends. May the good Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob be with you until we meet in another video. But if it's still your very first time here, go ahead and subscribe and then be part of the family, especially for those that resonate with what you are doing. Feel free. Come and let's have a conversation. My name is Simon Chris Makanga. Until another video, for now, it's a bye-bye. Thank you, Charity.
You're welcome.